How the hell is 16-year-old directing a full-blown action movie in Czech Republic with car chases, jungle shootouts, with 40 actors on a set, an original story inspired by Gladiator film, and the best part, with almost no budget? Well, this is VENGADOR, the first film of its kind in Czech cinema history. Written and directed by a 16-year-old with no serious experiences, just a guy who believed in something truly insane. Well, keep watching because this is just getting started. Wait, before I'll tell you how this all began, this is my Instagram profile right here. Everything is being posted there, including the behind the scenes from every single day of shooting. So if you're interested in this project, please get the follow there and it will also help me a lot to grow. Okay, and now let's get to the part how this all began. Okay, so it all started with me being just a little guy. I was just like a little boy, 7 years old or something. And I started filming like short films or scenes, action scenes with my older cousin that had a camera at that time, you know, mirrorless. And it was more like a photo camera, but who cares? We just started shooting some 3 minutes long, you know, action scenes with like fake guns, what we had at home. It was actually funny, and even now when I look at it, it wasn't that bad considering the age and the like experiences we had. I can show you like a seconds now, you know, a few seconds. You see, I mean, it's not that bad, you know, considering the time. So yeah, it's not even that bad. I kind of like it even now. So yeah, then we were getting better years after years, you know. Then I started the calisthenics and more hobbies, and then like 3 years ago I got this hope you can see well, like camera, you know, after my father, and it's just old for the camera, but still I was really happy for it, my first camera. And I was just shooting, you know, calisthenics short form content on it. So I had some experiences with like the camera, but not huge ones. And then like half a year after, I was just sitting here in this room actually with a really good friend of mine, and we were just being bored, you know, in the summer. So I told him, hey, because we both loved Cobra Kai at that time, even now I love it. So we were just like, hey, maybe we could film with my like new camera, we could film some, you know, some action scene, like fighting scene on my backyard there, like Cobra Kai style thing. So he said, oh yeah, let's go. So we just went without no script at all, just no experiences. We just went on the backyard, set up the tripod, this camera and nothing else, and we just started, you know, thinking about shooting something. But we didn't have a script, so we just started doing some fight choreography, whatever, and we didn't manage to do anything that day. So then I went home and I actually watched a prank called, I don't know what is it called, but it was a prank where the friends pranked one of their friends, you know, for something with the Mexican cartel, you know, then kidnapping him actually. I felt really good about this idea. It was just like interesting, you know, for me. And because my backyard actually feels really much like a Mexican place, I can't help it. And even in this feature film, which I'll get to it, it's still one of the, you know, main locations in the film in Mexico, which is interesting. That's how authentic it looked. I told him, hey, we have some, you know, fake weapons from my childhood, whatever. At first he was just like, what? And then he said, okay, that would be interesting, but please, let's do the Cobra Kai style fighting. And like that, the short movie, 13 minutes long short movie called VENGADOR short movie, came up to this YouTube channel. You may watch it, but please consider that it's completely different thing than the movie we're making now. It's completely different. It's just without no script, you know, no sound, no story, nothing. It just, you know, I would call it experiment. Yeah, that's the way I would call it. So I was kind of surprised of the attention that it got. So we both were, and then we started thinking about making a sequel, you know, better quality, better story, better actions, whatever. But because this camera that I have now didn't have the option of putting a microphone right to it, and because I didn't even know how to use the camera properly, I didn't want to mesh the audio externally. So we bought like mirrorless entry-level camera, and to it like the microphones that you can put on your like t-shirt, you know, the little ones, some cheap ones, but they were kind of good quality for the time. And I started writing the script for the sequel. You know, it was about to be like 20 minutes long and much better because I had to improve from my projects and so on, you know, get higher every single time I do something. So I wrote the script to the introduction of the film, like the intro opening scene, which was about 4 minutes long. and I needed, you know, to get some crew. So I knew that, oh, because I live in a small hometown here in Czech Republic, far away from Prague where I study. So I thought like, okay, everybody in this hometown seen that first short film Vengador. I was just like, if I put it on my Instagram, maybe they will be interested. And I was right. A few of my friends were interested, and some of them were actually kind of good in acting. So I was just like, I'm happy, and we started making this film. They were actually excited in the beginning, like few months, and this is how it all started. And then we were actually progressing so fast, you know, each scene by scene was different. You know, the script was in making with the filming, which was interesting, and I feel the similar vibe to Gladiator film because it was the same. They started with only 20 pages of the script or something like that, which is a really low amount of pages for the Hollywood. Okay, so we started like this, and it was interesting, but we were progressing really fast. You know, each scene got better and better, the locations and everything, you know. So we were making the script and with the filming. So as that, we weren't even sure what is the upcoming filming when we filmed something, and like that we were actually going for it, and the movie got bigger and bigger. You know, first it should be like 20 minutes long, and then I told myself, okay, maybe 30 minutes sounds better, you know, because some of the people told me like, oh, 20 minutes, I can't even, you know, I can't even enjoy the movie with the popcorn, you know, it's 20 minutes, it's nothing. And I told them, yeah, that's true. So I will make it like 30 minutes, maximum 40 minutes. So that was the idea, and it got bigger, bigger. And then after like I got to know the story a bit well, I was like, this story has something, this story has a potential. So I was just like, no, this story should have a bigger shot of, you know, succeeding in this world, and this, you know, so I just like, okay, what will happen if you put it into YouTube? It might have some views, it might not, it might have like 1,000 views, maybe more, thousands, but it doesn't matter. It's just like, let's think about some platforms or like distribution, festivals, whatever. But then they told me like, okay, but feature length films have much bigger chance of succeeding in this type of action, you know, genre. So I was just like, so I need to make it 70 minutes long. So that's kind of, you know, big jump from 40 minutes to 70 minutes, or it was 50 minutes at that time. But I made a decision. I told it to the crew. They were kind of happy about it, but also not. They were like, oh, we must film another like 30 minutes of the film. But they were also like happy for the ambitions. They are getting bigger, but they were also getting tired because it was already like the 4th month shooting, and it was actually really, you know, filming an action film with car chases, it's not really easy for the actors. So they're usually sick during the filming. I was sick because we were filming in brutal freezing conditions outside. It was the winter. Time after time we were progressing to much higher, you know, ambitions with this film, and mainly because of me, because I'm always like, you know, this should have bigger chance of like showing this story, you know, telling this story. So it was getting bigger, and it got where it is right now. So yeah, that's how it all started basically. So this is actually the most asked question on this film, you know, because when you hear how it all started, you're probably wondering like how this project grew so big, you know, bigger. So basically, as I said, it all started with only teenagers, you know, running in my backyard here, and it moved to something with like 40 plus, you know, people on the set in Prague, filming with real professionals that were on the famous Czech movies or even like international films, you know, professional stuntmen and so on. So it moved like that, and actually you know, a lot of people are asking like, how could we, you know, make these huge action scenes on this tiny budget, you know, almost no budget, as I would call it. The answer is you must be really smart about what you're doing with the budget. I put basically almost like 95% of the budget just into equipment, you know. I had to buy a better camera, you know, a cinema camera. So the movie does have, you know, the movie has bigger chance of succeeding in the cinemas, which is my main goal, obviously, or platforms like Amazon Prime Video or even Netflix. I would be really happy for it, or festivals, whatever. You know, the audio equipment, some lights, and so on. Maybe some props, you know. So this was like the 95% of the budget that went to. All the actors, all the crew members, whatever, they're all volunteers. This story is so big, and it's even more interesting, you know, behind the camera, this story of like, you know, teenagers starting to build this like movie and high passion, you know, to make something which was never seen in Czech Republic. Then the people are actually excited to do it, and they won't just, you know, go for money, but they will just want to be part of it because they see the potential of the film. So that's the thing. Now I would like to, you know, tell you the story of the film a bit, so you actually are more in the vision of the story and you understand it more. So Vengador. Federico, son of the murdered Mexican cartel boss, survives a brutal war with the Georgian mafia, or cartel too, and he was raised by his stepbrother, who also survived with him. He dreams of escaping the criminal world with the woman he loves, but when the Georgians kill her, his path changes forever, and he sets out on the violent quest for revenge all across the world, and Georgia mainly. So I hope you understand the story now. It's a really deep story, and I can assure you that this is not just an action film packed with actions without any story. Why this movie is so special. So the story, I don't even need to describe this story anymore because this story speaks to itself. And actually, after you will see the trailer, which is still not even in progress because we are still not done with the filming itself, you will just see the, you know, the big scale of this film, even though it's really, you know, low budget one. And also, you know, the story behind the camera, I think it's really interesting because you don't get to see, you know, this kind of high ambitions in nowadays filmmaking of basically teenagers, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, the ambitions of the film. What are the ambitions of the film? So basically the ambitions are pretty high. One of my big goals is to put this action film on the big screens all across Czech Republic. This is my biggest goal. I believe this, you know, deep story should have the shot to and the chance of showing this beautiful story, in my opinion, emotional, on the big screens, even though it's low budget and still D level. It has also the ambitions to go on festivals, of course. You know, they're trying to get some award and the higher chance of succeeding in like platforms like Amazon Prime Video or Netflix, which is also a really big goal, the biggest one, maybe even bigger than the theaters, I would say. But in the end, I'm still only a 16-year-old guy who doesn't have any film school, doesn't have any serious experiences or any serious, you know, professional producer, but I have a vision and now even supportive crew team which also believes in this project. Okay, so I guess this is all from this video. If you want to stay in touch and if you're interested in this project, make sure to follow my Instagram profile, as I already said before, because there's going to be everything. And if you like this video and like this idea and want to follow my journey, please make sure to subscribe this YouTube channel, share it with all your friends, and leave there some comment or a like. It will help me a lot. Okay, thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye. Okay, roll A, C1, take 1. Action. Just joking. I just forgot to show this clapboard to the viewers. Okay, never mind.